Dude, the weekends are the only time now for me.
Dude, we're recording. We can't talk about hanky-panky life. We're two married men having married men conversations.
Marital relations and stuff.
Here's a chance for your big duty.
God, this is gonna get derailed so quickly.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Coffee Talk. I'm here with Dr. JB. You may remember him from one of like my
episode 10.
10 was that. So for just like comparison, we just released interview 85 on the podcast, and so here that was 10. Holy
10.
Shit. Damn.
I was in the first 10. Very honored.
Well, don't be, because I use those people to like get the shitty episodes out and like figure out my craft so I could get better people on the show.
Okay, I like it.
Now, if you're new to Coffee Talk, this whole premise is like a little fun mini series I'm having, like unscripted, but it pretty much is just like as if you were to go get coffee with a friend or someone that you wanted to pick their brain. I have no interest in picking your brain because it's stupid, but for some reason we're friends, I guess.
Maybe because we're both pretty stupid.
Yeah. Which I thought. Touche. Oh, whoa, before. We're sipping. Dude, shut your phone up. Friends don't let friends interrupt
I put
each
it
other.
over there to not distract us, but it's right in our line of sight.
It's probably just your stupid kid or something.
Yeah, she's tough. Kids are the worst.
Today we're sipping on mushroom coffee. This is the Lion's Mane and Chaga from Four Sigmatic. If you don't know by now, this is pretty much how I start every day. It is just like focus on crack without the crack. And like every relationship, I'm the missus here, and JB is the mister. Welcome, cheers.
Thanks.
So I figure, kind of like us being friends, like actually we used to work together. Mm-hmm. Not the same company, but we're in the same office. We literally shared doors with each other, a wall, which was too much, honestly, for me sometimes. I was like, wanted to just knock that wall down, you know, and move in together.
I mean, we had that talk.
Yeah. He missed my musk and all that stuff. But I thought maybe we could talk about, because it's been like 6 months, man. 6 months since I left.
Yeah.
And, you know, we text and stuff and like catch up and don't catch up. We miss each other. Yeah. So like, well, I mean, I don't miss you. You probably miss me more than I miss you. But what's it like
that brought me right back to what I used to deal with all the time.
Welcome. What's it like maintaining relationships? Like, because you're married, I'm married, you have a kid, you have 2 kids.
Yeah.
I have no kids, I just have a dog and lots of bowel movements, so I'm very busy. But like, how do we stay friends when like you have different lives?
I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of tough.
Yeah.
We both have careers that we're trying to improve and get better at. And we've got our spouses, and I've got kids, and you've got that dog who's very loose, I shall say. I walked in and she immediately rolled onto her back, and so.
Yeah, she makes daddy proud. Yeah, if any of my daughters do that, I will put you in the basement and throw away the key. Yeah.
It's tough, man. It is tough. Like, because even like right now, I mean, my oldest Dina's not feeling well, so we're trying to set up a doctor's appointment. I gotta do grocery shopping. Even keeping a relationship up with my wife at this point can be tough, right? Going through your day-to-day activity, you know, you wake up, you take the girls to their prospective schools, we do our job, they come home, and then it's like taking care of them, and I'm making dinner, we're picking up the house, and then Tanya's using her GI benefit. She's getting, my wife is a superstar. She's an attorney. She was a JAG.
I object. That's all I got.
Yep. I mean, that's what I yell all the time. I object. On what grounds, Justin?
I was agreeing with you, Justin. What are you talking about?
I try to tell her from time to time, I'm like, oh, you just got out lawyered. She's like, you're dumb, Justin.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
So she just got her master's in cybersecurity using the GI benefits.
So she's really good at cybering?
Cybering is nice stuff. She's getting now she's getting her MBA. Again, it's just like GI benefits.
Was she collecting degrees?
Yeah, she's just getting paid to get degrees.
Does she think she's better than us?
I mean, she's
yeah, she actually is better. She's better than us.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that females are the stronger race, more intelligent. they would definitely survive longer without.
They're really, really good at making us do whatever they want without us realizing it. Even when I do realize that I'm being used, I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Keeping relationships up is hard, but I think what you have to do is find those like 3, 4, or 5 relationships that make you a better person, and go out of your way to keep those relationships around you, right? Like, so trying to see what raises you up to the next level, and keeping those people around you, even if it is driving out to DC when I should be going to the grocery store and taking Dina to her doctor's appointment and doing all this other stuff that is good. I'm gonna do eventually, but I'm taking time to come out and hang out with you and catch up, because I would never tell this to your face. I'm gonna say it's the camera makes me better and raises me up, so I'm keeping that relationship there. So same with your significant other, like your spouse, right? Like Tanya was just this morning, she's like, I need like some just in time, like not like with you having a baby in your arms. We need to just like sit down and like hang out and talk about whatever. And that's really important. So you talked about the 5 love languages before, right? Oh yeah, God, I love that.
That's been on like when I've had people on. May and I talked about it in an episode we did last year on the podcast. But like just the importance and the value of knowing how to show up in any relationship, at work, with a friend, with your significant other, your spouse. It was amazing. It really teaches you, because we all show up in relationships in different ways, usually, and we kind of have the same expectations of other people. Like, hey, I'm a gift giver, or I'm a quality time person, or I'm a touch, or whatever the 5 languages are for you, and we have that expectation of other people. But I think it's really where a lot of relationships like fail or crumble, is because you have this expectation that they're going to be treating you the same way that you want to be treated, or you're going to be treating them. But it's meeting people where they are and recognizing that for sure. What was your love language? What was your top one? I was definitely quality time, and then like affection, like touch, affection, kind of thing. And the gift was last. Really? Dead last. I thought that'd be up there, because this guy, he knows like. He knows everybody's birthdays like down to the T, and his birthday is also, it's a big show. I mean, it's like but I tangible gifts. Like I love celebrating birthdays for sure. No, like me getting a gift, like you giving me a gift, like I recognize that as like cool, and I'm thankful for it. But like it's not as meaningful for me, whether it's you or May or anybody, as if like we did this. So that's or we touched. Gingerly. Yes. Just you're filling my love tank up right now. Don't be graphic. That's what I love about that book, is that it kind of shows that I know my wife's love language is quality time. That's not how I show love, but I know that that's how she feels love. So I make a point to sit down on the couch with her without any electronics in front of me. And talk about whatever. It doesn't have to be anything, but that's considered quality time. So sometimes like your significant other or a friend who receives love a certain way, and you're trying to love the shit out of them in the way that you know how to love, but they don't know it, because you're not giving them what they need. It's like forcing a round peg in a square hole. What I thought was interesting is that we read that together. I think we were engaged, and hers was quality time and mine was physical touch as the top, and then we had kids, and we retook it again in like a small group that we were doing through our church. And our primary love language stayed the same, but acts of service was like rocketed up as number 2 right behind it. And it was because like we're both so exhausted. It's like, hey babe, I got the dishes, like so it's just interesting how stuff started to evolve as life evolves. So even like rereading, I'd be interested if you and May retook it, if it would change at all. Yeah, because May and I read it together like 3 years ago. We weren't even engaged. What was May's? Gifts. Okay. That's because she's Persian. But like not even in the like elaborate gift sense. It was anything as simple as like if I get her flowers, or if she loves cards. Like if I write her a card or a note, like it's the actual tangible process of like receiving something that she connects with the most. So like it's super easy for me to do. Like I can, like I said, write her a card, write her a letter.
Yeah, that's the thing about gifts is that it's your initial thought is like, oh great, this person I can't get like a
you're gonna expect it.
You know what I mean? But no, it's like literally like, hey babe, I got you a Starbucks. Like you didn't ask for it. Or like a little card, like you said. So it can be really.
I think it's the surprise aspect too that goes along with gifts when you don't expect it. Yeah. But definitely one thing that's definitely I would recommend. You would recommend as something to use as a tool to like strengthen relationships, ones that you really want to invest more in to be mo better. How do you, because I've definitely gone through this in the past 6 months to a year, like filter out relationships, people that like how do you break up with friends?
That's tough because I am the classic extrovert, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I've always, it's all about appeasing, did I use that right? Everyone around me? Did I just make up a word?
Appeasing? Bless you. No, that's right. Yeah.
Right, like trying to keep everybody around me happy and not trying to have anybody upset or frustrated with me. And that's such a shit way to go through life.
It's exhausting, man.
It's not a healthy approach to life. Like, so I'm actually kind of working on that, as in trying to find those relationships that are making me better and make me happy, like genuinely happy, and not being afraid to back away and not try to engage with someone. I haven't had to have this conversation yet, but I wonder if there's some people I should where I'm just like, I need to tell them like, I need space. Like that, even saying that, that's awkward for me to like tell someone like, bro, you need to do your thing, I need to do my thing. Like this isn't working because I'm too worried that I'm gonna piss someone off or that I'm gonna bother someone.
I've done that a few times, but I try to be a little bit more, I guess, subtle about it and try to like say it without saying it. Like, you know, hey, sorry we keep missing each other. I've just been so busy with, you know, getting my own business started, or, you know, especially with us, you know, we're moving in a couple months, so we're trying to like get all of our affairs in order and like spend quality time with family that we may not see more often. So I try to like say it without saying it, you know, and hope they pick on the hint that like, oh, okay, yeah, like you'll reach back out to me when it's, you know, a good time to connect.
That sounds very similar to some text that you sent me recently. Cut. But I think when it comes down to it, well, I think introverts, I honestly think that introverts kind of have a little better, like, than extroverts, because being an extrovert, that's what we're talking about, right? And it's fucking exhausting, like you said. Trying to please everybody. That's what I was looking for. Please, trying to please, not appease.
Oh, you put the wrong emphasis.
I feel like
wrong syllable.
I still don't know if that's a word yet or not. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's it.
When I get in front of patients, I'll say stuff, and I just say it like I'm like, the uvulus attaches to the brachius minor.
Dorsimus, rectimus, maximus.
Yeah.
Say anything with confidence, people will believe you.
Yeah, absolutely. When you live a life where you're just trying to please everyone and anyone, it's impossible. You can't obtain it. You can't keep everybody happy. And then you're not happy because you've got all these relationships you're trying to juggle.
We've got so many friends, well, not so many, but like definitely a handful of people that I'm sure you all can relate if you're listening or watching this. Is like they send you the text or give you the call, hey, we should totally hang out. You run into the mountain, they're like, we should totally hang out, let's do this. And like, yeah, let's do that. That's a sign right there that neither one of you, I think, are really invested in the friendship. You're just putting forth a front to make it look like you actually carry the weight.
That's a good point.
Because then what happens, like if you actually do, you do it begrudgingly because you're like, okay, we've been saying, hey, we should hang out for like 3, 4, 5 months. And then you show up just out of like regret or don't want to feel like a dick for blowing them off. But yeah, I mean, I think so many people in my life, it's just don't want to have that awkward conversation, and we're scared to just be honest with ourselves. But like seriously, like take inventory of the people in your life.
Take inventory of the people around you, and really be true to yourself, even if it's something that you don't like. You know, like I've learned to kind of listen to my gut. If that inner voice is like telling me a certain way, it's probably fucking right.
Usually mine's just Siri telling me to turn left.
Or that I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, my butt talks to me a lot. my butt, my stomach, probably more than it should.
Yeah, so take inventory. Like figure out those, I would say 3 to 5 people.
Yeah, seriously.
That make you a better person and make you strive to be a better person.
Yeah.
And if there's people that are just dragging you down in different aspects of your life, it could be financially, it could be emotionally.
Just time alone sometimes.
You kind of have to be a dick, man. kind of have to be a dick.
So is that the secret to retaining good quality relationships and friendships, is just be a dick?
I think so. Kind of.
Like filters out all the people, I guess, that you don't need to be rude.
Really?
To. 15 minutes, bro?
Oh, that was for the 15 minutes. I was like, too sure. Yeah, I think that in American society, we're too concerned about bothering people and pissing people off. We're like, you look at, like, you speak Russian, right? You look at Russian society, I don't think they really give a shit about, like, they're just straightforward with you. Like, if you say something stupid, like, you say a lot of stupid shit. Like,
of course.
I'm the best. Like, all the time. And, like, someone from Russia would be like, that was, what you just said was stupid. I don't like it. And other, like, Americans are like, in their head, they're like, oh, he's such an egomaniac. He's the worst. I see him on his YouTube channel. He looks like a huge douchebag.
Oh, you watch me? Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. This brings up, we'll wrap up here. Like, there's this example that I go to all the time when like we're so afraid to actually say what's on our mind and speak the truth because we don't want to have an awkward conversation. Like a couple years ago, May and I were back in Richmond, and we went to this coffee house that we don't normally go to, but when we do, I would always get this one drink, and I strayed and I got a different drink. It was like a chai latte or something. Come to find out, they make their chai, instead of like a powder mix, they actually steep chai leaves with water, and it just wasn't the same. And I was drinking, and I was like, this is disgusting, it's weird, it tastes like dirt. And then the barista was like, hey, how's your chai? I was like, oh my God, it's so good. it's so, I've never had a chai like this, thank you, thank you. And then I turned back around, I was like, I fucking hate this chai. Like, I could have just been like, no, actually this wasn't what I wanted, this wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, and try to get something else. And I do that. I make a hard case now. Like if May gets something she doesn't like, or if I get something like I didn't like or wasn't expecting, and even if it's like their fault or mine, like I'll be like, no, this isn't what I wanted, or I said the wrong thing, or I think you gave me the wrong thing. So like, just getting over it, that's all it is. I think it's fear of having an awkward conversation to actually have happiness in your life. Yeah,
I've been to restaurants with him. He is a dick.
There's a difference between being brutally honest, not even being brutally honest.
Unless that like Chipotle.
I know what I like and I know what I don't.
People are getting paid $8 an hour.
That's because the Chipotle by our old office, they suck. Okay, I'm gonna call you out right now. Chipotle, McLean, Virginia. All of your staff has no spunk. They don't care. They give you like ant portions. I'm calling them out.
Hashtag Chipotle.
I mean, I'll still go there, of course, because I love it, but I'm gonna do it and hate you under my breath.
Exactly what we just talked about.
See, we all have room for growth, people. All right. But that's going to be a wrap for today's episode of Coffee Talk. Dr. JB, thanks for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
For those of you who don't know, if we didn't say this, but yeah, we used to work together. He is a chiropractor by trade. He worked in our in-house rehab facility, office.
Physical rehab, not
physical rehab.
Not rehab.
Oh.
Like the rehab program that you went to was different than the rehab.
I just thought you used different letters.
Oh, well. All right.
That went south real fast. Right. So I'll have this all linked down in the comments below, the show notes below, if you want to check out what he does. I highly recommend. He actually has cured my tendonitis multiple times. If you get hurt, go see him. He's amazing. And moral of the story is invest in the relationships that invest in you, I guess.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty good.
Fiend.